This is the Monastery of Batalha. The monastery is located at Largo Infante, Dom Henrique, Batalha, Portugal. The Monastery of Batalha is a Dominican convent in Batalha, Portugal. The monastery was erected in commemoration of the Battle of Aljubarrota. This battle was fought between the Crown of Castile and the Kingdom of Portugal in 1385. Portuguese troops, led by King John I of Portugal and his general Nuno Álvares Pereira, supported by the English soldier, opposed the army of King John I of Castile, with its allies at São Jorge in central Portugal. King John I prayed for Virgin Mary's help, and made a commitment to erect a monastery in exchange for victory. The result was a momentous victory for the Portuguese, ending the war, and assuring John as the King of Portugal. The King of Portugal kept his promise and began with the building of the monastery. And so, it was built to thank the Virgin Mary for the Portuguese victory over the Castilians. General Nuno Álvares Pereira's statue stands next to the Batalha Monastery. The Portuguese general later became a mystic. Pope Benedict XV beatified him in 1918, and Pope Benedict XVI canonized him in 2009. Spanning the reign of 7 kings, it took over a century to build the monastery. The construction began in 1386, by the Portuguese architect, Afonso Domingues. His style was essentially Gothic, with influence from the English Perpendicular period. Architect Domingues was succeeded by Huguet, from 1402 to 1438, who introduced the flamboyant Gothic style. The monastery is one of the best representation of late Gothic architecture, combined with the Manueline style. However, in the earthquake of 1755, and the Napoleonic troops who burned the complex in 1810 and 1811, damaged the monastery. The church and the convent were abandoned when the Dominicans were expelled from the complex in 1834. In 1840, King Ferdinand II of Portugal started a restoration program of the abandoned and ruined convent. The exterior of this awesome building has numerous pinnacles, parapets, flying buttress, and balustrades. The magnificent convent has been put up in limestone. In 1907, the monastery was declared a Portuguese national monument. In 1983, the Batalha Monastery was added by UNESCO to its list of World Heritage Sites. Let's now look at the grandiose main facade of the monastery. The marvelous sculptural work at the entrance of the main facade was designed by David Huguet.
John, all artists, Yagas, Simão, Lucas, and Mateus. All of them. I mean, the closer you get, the amount of detail that they put in those things. Everything handcraft, handmade. He didn't have caterpillars or bulldozers, that's for sure. All made of granite, all granite.
In the center, there is a high-relief statue of Christ in majesty, surrounded by the evangelists. Framed by 6 covings, decorated with sculptures of biblical kings and queens, prophets, and angels holding music instruments from the Middle Ages. On both sides of the entrance, there are sculptures of the 12 apostles. Anyone will be amazed by the intricate details of the stone carvings. Height is the dominating impression of the interior. The monastery is illuminated by colorful stained glasses. The church is huge and narrow in proportion to its height. In fact, it has 3 naves, or central parts, a transept, and 5 chapels. In 1980, the monastery was turned into a museum. It is not only a national monument of Portugal, and UNESCO World Heritage Site, but also among the 7 wonders of Portugal, and a national pantheon. Visit the Monastery of Batalha. It is worth a visit, as it is among the most impressive and majestic buildings in Portugal. You will be filled with amazement at the structure and the many delicate carvings.